These 10 patterns will absolutely transform your spring wardrobe, and you can sew each one in a single day. They're perfect for those tricky temperature changes and super quick to sew when you don't have a lot of time. Plus, if you're looking for something a little fancier for an upcoming spring wedding or a party, I'm going to share a free pattern at the end that's absolutely gorgeous. Let's start with the Dara blouse. So if you watched my video about everything I sewed last year, you'll know that this is one of my absolute favorite makes from last spring. But it's actually also one of the fastest and the easiest. I really just love romantic blouses, and Dara has this lovely, voluminous fit that comes from the gathered neckline and these raglan sleeves. What makes this pattern special is how incredibly versatile it is. So version 1 has these beautiful lace insertions for playing with texture, and version 2 is a blank canvas that really lets your fabric choice shine. I made mine in a lightweight cotton lawn from Robert Kaufman, and I just reach for this constantly. But you could make this in so many beautiful fabrics. I think Liberty florals would make a really classic look, or cotton eyelet if you wanted something more sweet, or even a crisp poplin if you want more structure to it. And if you really want to make this quickly, here's a tip. While I love making my own bias tape from scraps, you can absolutely use pre-made bias tape to really speed up the process. Or make it really special with a contrasting bias and a fun print, like you could do stripes or a ditzy floral. Next is the Meadow blouse. So this is just such a special piece because of this dramatic ruffle collar that absolutely makes the whole design. So what I love about this blouse is how it proves that one perfect detail can really elevate even the simplest pattern into something that's just really special. The straight fit and the high round neckline create this beautiful frame for your face, and those gathered sleeves with the binding finish give it just such a polished look, even though it's actually really easy to make. For fabric, you'll want to reach for something light to medium weight. So we've made this in a floaty cotton lawn that works beautifully, but you could also use linen for more structure or a rayon challis if you want more drape. One thing I love about neckline details like this is how fun they are to layer with sweaters and cardigans. Personally, I think this looks great with a sweater vest over it and just this ruffle peeking out. Next is the Madhu blouse. So this might become your new favorite spring top because it's definitely one of mine. So what makes this pattern so special is the combination of ease and style. The raglan sleeves mean there's no fiddly sleeve setting, and the elastic finishes at the neckline, sleeve, and the hem create this really beautiful gathered effect that's both comfortable and it's really pretty. For fabric, you have so many great options. So I'm particularly partial to using double gauze or seersucker for this one. They both have this really wonderful texture that just complements these gathered details really, really well. If you're looking for something with more drape, rayon challis really works beautifully too. So light to medium weight linens are perfect for those slightly cooler spring days, and cotton lawn or batiste give you that crisp, clean look that's really nice and fresh for spring. And what I really love about Madhu is just how versatile it is. So this crop length is perfect for high-waisted bottoms. You don't have to worry about tucking it in at all. And if you want a top that feels comfortable and it looks pretty and it can be made in fabrics that you already have, and you can sew it in a day, this just might be the one. Another really cool thing about Madhu, because it's so simple, it's really, really fun to hack. I've actually made it into a full-length dress just by extending it and adding tiers to the bottom. I have a whole video about this, so we'll link that below. Next up is the kit blouse, and this is one of those patterns that proves that pull-on styles can be beautiful and practical at the same time. So the soft gathers below the yoke create just such graceful shaping, and I really love how the elastic sleeve hems just add a little bit of drama. The back tie is really genius because you can adjust it depending on how you're feeling that day. So you can cinch it in or you can leave it a bit looser. Kit is super easy to sew because it's pull-on, but those ties mean that it's semi-fitted to your body. So it's just a really easy sew that looks beautiful. For kit, you'll want to focus on light to medium weight woven fabrics. So you could try a tencel, which is going to give it this gorgeous drape that really shows off these gathers. And linen would give you a more structured look depending on the weight of the fabric. Or you could try a cotton voile for something that's really just light and springy. I've mentioned a lot of woven blouses here because they can be worn so much in spring, and all of these are easy enough to sew in a day. But let's talk about some knit tops next. We'll start with the thin raglan tee. So if you're someone who lives in t-shirts, this pattern is going to round out your collection. Those raglan sleeves give you such a fun opportunity to play with contrasting fabrics. So don't you think it would look great with brightly colored sleeves or maybe even a floral knit? I especially love the 3/4 length sleeve version for spring because it's just so perfect for layering. For fin, you'll need a knit fabric with good recovery, so look for something with at least 50% stretch. Cotton jersey is really perfect if you want something casual, or you could try a merino jersey if you want something that's just a little bit more elevated. And the key is just finding a fabric with good stretch recovery so it keeps its shape. The Goldie top is next, and this one is just such a showstopper. So this sweetheart neckline with the elastic gathering is really feminine and flattering, and the fitted silhouette makes it perfect for tucking into high-waisted bottoms. I actually made this in just about 2 hours, so it's perfect when you want something that's special, but you just don't have a lot of time. And I made a video about sewing Goldie, so I'll link that in the description if you want to take a look. For Goldie, you'll want a medium weight knit with good stretch. And I absolutely love this in a rib knit. It just adds this beautiful texture that really just elevates the whole design. The one I made is a black rib knit with little flowers all over it. If you're worried about the open neckline being too chilly for spring, try adding a pretty silk scarf. It just looks really chic and it'll keep you warm. Next up is the Milo cardigan, which is exactly what you need for those temperature shifting spring days. I think cardigans are really crucial for spring because I'm always adding or removing layers depending on the weather. What's great about this pattern is how it works with so many different knit fabrics. So you could use ponte, double knit, merino jersey, French terry, even sweater knits. Just make sure that your fabric has at least 30% stretch. I'm planning to make mine in French terry to wear either on its own as a top or layered over a cami. And don't forget about buttons, because they're such an easy way to add personality to this cardigan. You could look for some really printage. I'm personally a big fan of vintage buttons. It just feels like adding jewelry to your sewing. Actually, I think I'm just a big fan of shopping for vintage buttons. Okay, we've talked through a lot of tops, so let's talk about a few dresses and jumpsuits. We'll start with the Lucy jumpsuit. This is definitely in the secret pajamas category. So it's sleeveless with wide cropped legs, and the clever details like the lined bodice and the elasticized drawstring make it both fun to sew and incredibly comfortable to wear. I made mine in this bold black and white check years ago, and it's still one of my favorite pieces. So I throw this on when I want to look cute around the house, but I really don't want to feel kind of constricted. You know those days. Here's what makes it so versatile. You can layer it over a turtleneck when it's cool, and then you can wear it on its own when the temperature rises. So another thing I like to do is wear it with a long cardigan, which you can always take off if it gets too warm. You'll want to use a knit fabric with at least 25% four-way stretch. So bamboo jersey blends are really perfect for this, or a cotton jersey with some spandex in it, or even a French terry. Now let's talk about the Mina dress, which reminds me so much of dresses that I had in high school in the 90s. So this modern take on a baby doll dress comes in two versions. You can make it as a relaxed top with a gathered peplum and 3/4 sleeves, or as a dress with a gathered skirt and short sleeves. And both versions feature this really lovely pleated waist detail. The best part is there's no zipper or any complicated closures to deal with, which makes this such a quick sew. So for fabric, you've got lots of options too. I absolutely love it in lightweight linen or tencel for a little bit of movement. And rayon challis gives you this beautiful drape that works so well with the gathered skirt. I think I had a lot of rayon baby doll dresses back in the day, which of course I wore with Doc Martens. The dress version is particularly perfect for spring. You can layer it with a light cardigan or a jacket when it's cooler, and then you can wear it on its own as the temperature warms up. And if you're feeling nostalgic like me, you can try it in a small floral print. And if you're feeling nostalgic like me, you can try it in a small floral print, and don't forget the combat boots. Now let's talk about the Meg dress. So this is one of those pieces that looks really intricate, but it's actually so simple to sew. The elastic waist creates such beautiful shaping, and those flutter sleeves add the perfect romantic touch. And what I really love about this dress is how it transitions through the seasons. So you can wear it with tights and a cardigan now, and then on its own when it warms up. For Meg, you want something with nice drape to show off those flutter sleeves. Rayon challis is absolutely perfect, or you can try a lightweight linen for more structure. The elastic casing gives you options too. You can do 2 or 3 rows depending on the look that you want. It's another one that's easy to sew, easy to layer, and just super comfy. And now for our bonus pattern, the Frankie dress, which you can get right now completely free. I made one for our Seamwork holiday party last year in a printed silk, and it quickly became one of my favorite pieces in my closet. The gathered skirt and the fitted waist yoke give it this incredible vintage silhouette that could be either 1930s or 1970s, depending on how you style it. It looks amazing with tall boots for spring, and it works in everything from light linens to floaty rayons. Or of course, you can make it in a vibrant silk like I did. If you want to get this pattern for free, I'll put a link to download it below. I do it quickly though, because this is our winter freebie, so we'll be swapping it for another free pattern just for our mailing list really soon. And if you're excited about quick, satisfying sewing projects that'll keep you motivated, watch this video next to discover 10 more patterns you can sew in a single day, including 2 more free patterns that'll help build your handmade wardrobe even faster.